Forgot to turn the sound on again. Y'all just might as well just call it before I even start. Let's start over. Hey guys, it's Tamara Bennett from Southern Adoornments Decor. We're getting ready to paint the final flower pot tonight, and I'm so excited about this. How is the weather in your area? It actually got up to 30 degrees here, and after a week of 15 degrees, it felt plumb balmy. Like 30 degrees actually felt pretty warm, and stuff started to melt off. And we've got some icicles forming now that everything is freezing back. So I hope you guys are staying warm. Let me know where you're watching from. I see we have somebody watching from Bolivia. Hello, all the way from Bolivia. Jessica says, girl, I keep checking my volume. It's not you, it's me, guaranteed. I barely know what I'm doing. There's too many buttons to remember to hit and all the things, but I got it. We're here. And so tonight we're painting one of these flower pots. If you have noticed, look here, we have 3-dimensional elements tonight. How fun is that? And so even my letter, my monogram is 3D. I've cut all of this using my Glowforge Pro laser cutting machine. If you have more questions about the Glowforge Pro, we'll talk about that another day, but it is a really cool machine and I can get you $500 off. So if you want to learn more about that, just send me a text. I forgot to put my text number up on the screen. But if you don't want to miss another live, or perhaps you have questions about something that don't get answered here tonight, feel free to screenshot this number and text me at any time. I try to check that at least once or twice a day. So I might not get back to you right away, but I will get back to you as soon as I can. So be sure and screenshot that and then text me so that we can be text buddies. Dawn is watching from Stanford area, Highland. I don't know where that is. Hello, Kathy from Costa Rica. That sounds nice. I bet it's warm there. Cindy, I missed the powwow today too. She's talking about what we do in Painters Clubhouse, and I didn't realize I'd missed it until I saw you say that just now. I went and got a massage, if I'm being 100% honest with you. My mama, who's watching right now, hello, Mom, got me a gift certificate to go get a massage for Christmas, and I tried to cash it in last week, but with the weather, it got canceled, and they called me yesterday and said, we have an opening on Friday. Do you want it? I'm like, yes. And so I ran and got a massage and completely forgot about the powwow. So I'll have to do that tomorrow. Hello, Eva from North Carolina. Thank you for sprinkling the love, Jennifer. Jennifer must know that we've been giving away every single night one of these. So tonight I thought we would do the giveaway a little differently. So the past 2 or 3 nights we've been giving away what I've been painting. We gave away the first one, which was this one right here. It is the beginner version. And then that's painted as if you're stage 1 in the Painters Clubhouse with 0 painting experience. And then stage 2 people in the Painters Clubhouse begin to add a little bit of color, a little bit of pattern and things like that. So we painted it as if we were stage 2 the next night. And then last night we painted it as if we were stage 3. So in stage 3, we began to add some shadowing and shading. We added some leopard print and some more details down here. And we even did a letter B. Let me take this off the screen so you guys can better see what we're talking about here. And so this was what we did last night. We're still going to be giving this one away. I haven't gotten the name of the winner just yet from my team, but hoping that she will answer me while I'm live and I can make the announcement live as to who won it last night. So we'll be announcing that here in just a bit. So tonight we're going to be painting this one. And I thought that instead of sending the winner the painted version, whoever wins this one, I will send you your own blank like this that you can paint yourself. How's that sound? It'll have all the 3-dimensional pieces. You'll just need to let me know what letter you want to go down here. And if you want to get one of these door hanger designs in a template version, which means you cut it out yourself, you can get the daisy pot template at shopdoorhangers.com. We've linked it up in the video description. You can also get the wood blank with the design laser etched on the surface. So yours would come looking like this. It wouldn't have 3-dimensional elements, but it would have the laser etching like this. We do plan to start offering the 3-dimensional elements in the future when our new shop gets up and running. They've actually been out there working on the dirt work for it today, trying to get the land to drain because it's so wet and soggy out there. They can't begin the foundation for it. So it's frustrating. Okay, Margarita is asking, how do you become a member? So she's talking about our Painters Clubhouse membership, and it is open right now for registration. You can sign up tonight and tomorrow only. After that, it's going to be closed to the public and you won't be able to sign up until we open it again in the fall. So be sure and sign up before tomorrow night. We also have one last bonus remaining to share with you guys. And if you sign up by tonight, you get this final bonus, which is how to sell your door hanger, even if you don't have a business yet. And that is taught by our friend, Ashley Rates. And she is the queen of selling all things online. And we've already heard from some of our members who've gotten to watch that training, and they said it's awesome. It has a lot of things. It has a lot of things in it that they had never really considered before. And so when you join the Painters Clubhouse, we encourage you to go and sell whatever it is you make. Doesn't mean you have to, but it's a great way to pay for your membership. Selling one door hanger every single month will likely pay for your membership. Thank you for sprinkling the love, Rita. Sherry said, I joined today. Welcome, Sherry. I'm so glad to have you in the Painters Clubhouse. Does anybody have any more questions before we start painting? Rosie signed up today. Welcome, Rosie. Michaela says, can you send me one anyway? And then Kay said, my daughter and son-in-law's last name is a B. Make it for them. Okay, I bet you guys all know somebody who has a last name B. How do you sprinkle? Cameron, you just hit the little button down at the bottom that says SHARE. Welcome, Carrie, PC sister. Hi, Kay. I'm glad you're here. Okay, let's get started painting. So all the paints that I'm using today are courtesy of Deco Art. And I'm actually going to be using a new paint you guys haven't seen me use here on my Facebook page. Well, no, wait. You may have seen me use it a while back, but you haven't seen me use it very much. It's called Deco Art Matte Metallics. And so we're going to be using these two colors. They're kind of a charcoal and a light, like a charcoal metallic gray, and then like a soft silver. The actual names are charcoal and soft silver. So we're going to be using those on the pot. We're going to be using the Deco Art Americana matte acrylics in Hauser light green and medium green on the leaves and the greenery in the background. Paula, the kind of wood that I use is called Revolution plywood. You can find it at Lowe's. And then we're on our flowers. I'm thinking we might try these two colors. They're different than what we've been doing the past two nights. This one's called Scarlet. It's a reddish orange, and this one is primary yellow. And then if we have time, I thought we might play with this glazing medium to give it sort of an antique look, which I've never done on Facebook Live before. So we'll have to see how that turns out. It could be a huge fail. Who knows? But you know what? We're going to be brave and we're going to do it anyway. So I'm going to set these three-dimensional elements off to the side, and we'll come back to those in a few minutes. We're also going to glue those on later with some Gorilla Glue. Kimberly says, is this for beginners painters? So Kimberly, the membership can be for beginners or it can be for advanced painters. So on Tuesday, when we were talking about the membership, we were painting our flower pot as if we were beginners. And we actually interviewed a couple of beginners in the Painters Clubhouse that day on my Facebook page, Southern Adoornments Decor. So if you're curious about that, you can go back and watch those on my page. Now, tonight, we're painting them as if you are in stage 4, which would technically be like expert level. So earlier today, I interviewed somebody on my page named Maria Martinez, and she joined the Painters Clubhouse, even though she was already technically an expert painter. She'd been painting for years. And so she joined for a completely different reason. She joined because she wanted to start learning about, she wanted to start meeting other people in the community that are into painting as much as she is. And so she has found such a wonderful community to support her as she grows her little business, because sometimes doing a business like this can be kind of isolating because people at home don't really understand it. They don't really get it. And if you don't have somebody to talk to about your business, it can be kind of depressing. Okay, so tonight we're going to paint these leaves up here different than we have every single night. So every other night we've been carefully painting these leaves and we've been keeping our colors separated. But tonight, if you notice, I dip my paintbrush in both colors at the same time. And I'm just going to slap this on here because you know what? We're going to glue these flowers on top of here anyway. So all this stuff in the background isn't going to show. So we're just going to paint this entire area up here green. Does anybody have any questions? You guys checked your stores and couldn't find that paint? Is that what you're saying? Well, hopefully they'll have some back out in April. Deco Art was commenting and saying that just a moment ago. So hopefully you guys can find some in April if you haven't found any yet. They're still playing catch up on all the orders they received during quarantine. Now I am going to be a little more careful right through here and make sure that I stay inside my lines. There we go. Catherine says, I've been painting for years and I joined for the same reason. So yes, it can be lonely painting at home and not having a community to fall back on and to feel like you have a sisterhood around you. So if you're like that, I would love for you to join us. Sherry said she joined today. Welcome. If you joined this week, I would love if you leave in the comments why you joined. What was your reason? Everybody has a why. Tell us what your why is. Even if you already have been a member for years, you can share your why with us as well. It looks kind of funny because we're painting these flowers green, doesn't it? It's okay. It's not going to matter. I kind of like how these two colors kind of marble together whenever you dip in both colors at the same time. Last night we did a lot of shading on here. Well, tonight it doesn't really matter so much, so I'm just kind of slapping the colors on here, making sure I have kind of a variety in all the areas and making sure that the areas that actually are going to show have enough paint on them. So this is kind of like for the messy painter, if you will. It's a lot easier, more fun too. Somebody said, oh my, what are you doing? I know it seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? Margarita has a good question. She said, do you have to be in a business? No, ma'am. Lots of people who join our Painters Clubhouse do not have a business, but they usually end up starting a business after they get so good at it that people are begging to buy their creations. Margarita, I love your name, by the way. You can go to paintersclubhouse.com. There's also a link up in the video description. Helen said she ordered hers directly from Deco Art's website. Yes, you can do that. Sorry, guys, I didn't realize my name was showing up here on the screen in y'all's way. I'll take that off. Okay, here's a couple of people answering. Ashley said, I joined this week for therapeutic advantages. I have a high-stress corporate job and crafting relaxes me. This is going to be cheaper than any kind of therapy, Ashley. That's an awesome reason. Jill Estelle said, my why is the community and learning more techniques. Awesome. Michaela said, that's why I like this group and the live. I paint, but there's no one around. Although I'm not in Painters Clubhouse, I ask my questions and I learn a lot here. And then Catherine has a good point. She said, don't be afraid to ask questions. No question is stupid. Debbie said, I wanted to try something new. I did the winter challenge, fell in love, and joined today. Welcome. Sandy joined this week. She said, I'm not an experienced painter at all, but I just want a fun, stress-reducing hobby. Catherine joined to grow her business. Reba said, I joined last night. I have a laser engraver coming next month. Oh, how exciting. She said, I've always loved crafting and would like to make a little extra money. Okay, Cameron says, I'm just curious, when I need to set up my business, I will be upgrading to paint to profit. Yes, you can whenever you're ready. Zelma said she joined because she was home alone during deer season and she had never used a paintbrush. Now she's cutting her own, selling and painting a lot in her new craft room with woodworking tools. That's so exciting. I wish I could read all of these out loud, but you guys are probably going to get tired of hearing them all. So feel free to just read them yourself in the comments if you want to. If we have time later, I'll go back through and read some more as well. I saw a spot right there that I didn't get covered very well, so I was touching it up. Let's paint the pot with the Deco Art matte metallics. So we're going to start with this color, and then we're probably going to add in a little bit of this color. We're going to kind of do it like we did the greens. We're going to marble them together because the overall effect I'm going for is sort of like a galvanized bucket, and I want it to look like it's not perfectly silvered. You know what I mean? Like it's an older bucket. It's not new. And obviously I haven't used this color before because it's still got the seal on it. Okay. So look at these colors. Ooh, how nice. Let's start off with the lighter one. We're just going to get a flat tip brush. You have to be a little careful with this kind of paint because it strings a bit. And we're just going to put a coat on here. I should have undercoated this with something. So hold on. We may stop what we're doing instead of continuing on. Let me set these aside. I'm going to dry this, and we're going to undercoat this with like a white or something, because I don't want the wood grain to show through, or it won't look like a metal bucket. And I don't want to do 5 coats. Okay, we've got it nice and dry there. Julie says she's a stay-at-home mom who would love to learn a little side income and have her own thing to do. That's really important as a mom. Every mom needs their own thing. They need something that they can call all their own, because when you're a mom and a wife, especially mom, you've got to share everything. I mean, goodness gracious. I had some Reese's Easter egg candy in here the other day. And on 3 different occasions, one of my kids asked me if they could have one. I'm like, no, it's mine. Your dad got it for me. It was a sweet little gift he got me, and I'm not sharing. But it's so hard because the mom inside of me wanted to be like, okay, I'll share. I don't need the fat anyway out of that Reese's cup. And, like, everybody needs something for their own, because as moms, we are so giving that we have a tendency to overgive, and then there's not enough left of us to give. I'm sure you guys have heard the saying, by the way, we're painting this white and then we're going to paint it silver. I'm sure you guys have heard the saying that you can't fill anyone else's cup if your cup is empty. I may be butchering that saying, but in other words, like, you have to fill your own cup. You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else. I mean, for goodness sake, they even teach that when you go on an airplane. And they tell you that the oxygen masks are up above you. And before you help anyone else with their oxygen mask, you need to help yourself to your own, because you can't save someone else's life before you save your own life. So it's just kind of like common sense. But sometimes as moms, we don't realize that we are putting ourselves last so much to the point where it's hurting us until it's too late, until we have severe anxiety and depression and stress. And so everybody needs something that is just their own. So if you don't have something like that, perhaps painting door hangers could be your thing. And if so, you're going to want a community behind you when you learn to paint door hangers, so that you feel support, so that you have people to go to, so that you feel like you're not doing it by yourself. Because we talked about this the other night. When you're learning a new skill like this and you're trying to make time for yourself, that mom guilt is going to start creeping in. And you're going to feel like, oh, I really probably shouldn't go in there and paint. I should do some laundry right now. There's too many chores in the house that I need to do. And so if you're not a member of something like this, a lot of times you'll let the laundry take over, and you'll end up doing the laundry instead of painting like you need to be every once in a while. And so being a member of the Painters Clubhouse is accountability, because it's going to mean that you're going to feel like, I'm paying this money every single month to do this thing for myself. And that's just as important as doing the laundry. Can I get an amen? Autumn said, I feel attacked. This is exactly why I have been with Tamara since day one. There's no need to feel attacked. Feel like you're being hugged. Like we're right there with you, girlfriend. You're not the only one. You're not alone. So don't feel attacked. It's not a personal attack, for sure. Rosanna says, so true. Preach it. How much do you sell your door hangers for? I usually sell my painted door hangers for about $45, but I've gotten to the point now where I'm not selling painted ones anymore. I'm seeing lots of amens over in the comments. You guys are totally agreeing with me. I love it. Shirley said, I joined because I take care of my 33-year-old disabled son, divorced from his dad after 40 years together. His dad gets him for 4 days out of the month, and I have to learn to take time for me and stay too stressed. Yeah, you need more than just 4 days a month that you can have time for yourself. Thank you, Amber. That is the saying I was trying to get out. You can't pour from an empty cup. Rita said, I believe that. I raised 5 of them. Now they say I'm stingy, but I'm not. Debbie says, amen, sister. Ashley says, I love your top. Thank you. I got it at the Refab Boutique a couple years ago. Ashley said, I meant to ask, is there a newsletter to which I can subscribe? Yes, go to southernadoornmentsdecor.com and you can subscribe. Where do you get your wood pieces? We cut them ourselves. You can get them at shopdoorhangers.com or click on the link up in the video description. Jessica says, I always watch while I'm doing laundry. I know, but that's not nearly as good for you as painting while you watch. What kind of paintbrush? I've been using a flat tip paintbrush, and this one's about 1 inch wide to do this entire area down here. We're going to dry this white, and then we're going to paint it silver. Finally. Brandon said Tamara is the queen of door hangers. You're too kind, Brandon. Oh, and then somebody commented and said, I love Refabbed and Brooke. Brooke and I only live about 20 minutes away from each other. We're actually leaving Monday together to go on a mastermind retreat in North Carolina. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I adore Brooke. She's such a sweetheart. Okay, let's paint this silver. We're using the DecoArt Matte Metallics in soft silver, and it actually looks kind of white on top of this white. So we're going to be adding in some of that charcoal metallic to create a really cool effect, which I've never tried before. But you know what? There's a first time for everything. And if it turns out looking awful, we'll just paint over it again and say that was a mistake. And you guys will learn something, and I will learn something. Because we're not going for perfection here. We're just going for a rusty metal bucket. Or maybe not rusty, but old. Okay, so while that's still wet, I'm going to dip now in this other color and see how this looks. We're going to just kind of streak some of this in. I wanted it to look sort of like a galvanized bucket. I think that's probably all I'm going to need. I'm going to brush some of that off on a paper towel, which I learned last night is technically called offloading. I didn't even know that. This looks really cool. So this is the charcoal matte metallic. Still brushing some off on a paper towel. The charcoal matte metallic on top of soft silver. I'm going to go back and get some more soft silver and just layer it a little. It's looking super cool. What do you guys think? Whoops, I got some over on that leaf. It's tricky because it really does show your brush strokes. So you got to make sure your brush strokes look really good. I'm going to dip in just a little bit more of that charcoal and kind of try to dry brush it up from the bottom a little bit to create sort of an effect. Maybe a little on the edges. Okay. I think I'm going to quit while I'm ahead because it's hard to find a quitting point. Hard to find a stopping space. Okay, I've got to get a baby wipe out, and I'm going to wipe some of this off where I accidentally got it all over this leaf because I think that will be easier than trying to paint over it later. Always keep baby wipes handy in your craft room because while the paint is still wet, it's much easier to clean up. There we go. All right, let's put the lids on these. What do you guys think about the metallics? You love it? Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Debbie. She sent me some salsa in the mail. Is Debbie not awesome? Thank you, Debbie. She said it's not kid-friendly, though. That's okay. My kids don't really like to eat salsa anyways. It's just me and my husband that do. Okay, let me see on this other page. Would a light gray do good for a base for silver? Yes, it would. Ashley says I need to sponge it on. Oh, that's a good tip. I don't really have any. I need like an old cruddy sponge, but I do kind of look how this looks. I think it's going to look even better once it dries. And once we get all the details. Right now it looks a little awkward right next to those leaves, but once we get our final details on there, I think it's going to look fine. So we've got a really cool metallic bucket. We're not done with it yet though. Don't worry. Because I know it looks a little scary right now. We're going to set this to the side to dry. And in the meantime, we're going to paint our flowers that we're going to glue on. Because I told you guys tonight that we were going to do some 3D letter or 3D flowers. So I'm going to use primary yellow and scarlet red. The scarlet red is kind of an orangey red. It's real bright. Let's see. I'm going to go for a slightly smaller brush this time. Start with the yellow. Hold on. Which one's in the middle? This one's on the right side. So I think I want to do this one yellow and the other two the red. And then we'll do the middles in black probably. I think. I don't know. What color should I do the middles of the flowers? The little circles. Y'all give me some suggestions. I love it when y'all give me suggestions and ideas. Hello, Sheila from Kentucky. I'm in Kentucky as well. I'm near Murray, Kentucky. You actually like the way it looks around the leaves? Okay, cool. Deco Art saying a tan middle. That's a good suggestion. Debbie wants to know, is that patio paint yellow? No, this one's not the patio paint. This is just the traditional Americana primary yellow. Somebody else suggested brown or light brown, copper. Ooh, Rachel said you can use a plastic grocery bag. That works too for metallic paints. I'm going to have to just play with that technique sometime. I haven't really tried that much. I don't use the metallics that much. I did use them to paint a ceramic pumpkin back in the fall, which was super cool. We're just going to go ahead and cover the middle. Even though the middle is going to be covered up, we're going to cover it anyway. I'll give it a couple of good coats here. I love, this is like a school bus yellow, kind of. It's real bright. It's a good sunflower color as well. Somebody said brown with little black dots. That's going to look like a sunflower. I'm thinking like maybe like Lazy Susans. Aren't Lazy Susans yellow with black in the middle or brown in the middle? I don't know. I don't know my flowers that much. My mom does. If mom's watching, she could tell us. Kristen says turquoise would be pretty. Yes, that wouldn't be like florally realistic, but it would be very pretty. Okay, let's switch to the scarlet red. And look how orange this looks. It's going to look orange, but it's technically a red, but it's a reddish orange. Black-eyed Susans. Somebody said do white. Somebody said do buffalo check. That, oh, buffalo check might be cute. LaJana's got some ideas, y'all. Burnt umber with mustard for pollen. Y'all are awesome. I just need you guys to just always just tell me how to paint things. Give me all the ideas. Whoops, I almost dipped in the yellow. Cameron said, ladies, I made the prison break today. Texas is thawing out. Never enjoyed Chipotle and Walmart so much. I prison braked today too, Cameron. I got out and drove, and surprisingly, my van went really well on our road that is completely covered. It's white. But I made it to Walmart. I made it to get my massage that I'd been wanting to get, that I'd gotten the gift certificate for Christmas. And I was going to go to the nail salon and get my nails redone because I'm still wearing Valentine nails and they're growing out something fierce. But the nail salon was swamped. I think everybody had that idea today. So I made an appointment for tomorrow, and I'm going to go back at 10 a.m. tomorrow and get them done. So while you're at it, y'all can give me ideas for what to paint my nails tomorrow. I'm thinking maybe like a turquoise or something. I don't know. Let's go ahead and paint this one. Let's see. Catherine says, I use Apple Barrel Folk Art and Deco Art, but they are all good if I prime first. Deco Art's my favorite. It's the consistency, the coverage, the colors. It's just, I've never had any problem with them. I've had problems with some of the Apple Barrel in the past, like separating, the colors separate. And then it gets like really watery. It's almost like the paint goes bad. I don't know. And it used to happen years ago when I did paint parties. If the paint got too hot in my car, it would separate real bad. But I've never had problems with Deco Art paint doing that. Yes, you've been cooped up for way too long. Poor Charlie today wanted to get out of the house so bad. And I told her she couldn't go with me because, of course, I was getting a massage. And I'm like, honey, you can't go. You can't like go and just sit there while mama gets a massage. That's not going to be that's going to be counterproductive. Mama's not going to relax. And so she got real upset. She really wanted to get out of the house and go. She does not like being stuck at home. So I may have to see if there's some way I can finagle her getting out of the house with me tomorrow to go get my nails done, just so she can see something outside the house. Daddy got her out and took her for a ride on the side-by-side today, and they rode down to the little playground at the end of the road. I don't even know how they played because it's way too cold to play on the playground. And there's snow on everything. But she did tell me she enjoyed riding around with him and getting to see all the tracks. Like there's deer tracks and bunny tracks and all that in the snow. Oh, I don't know why I set that over there. I wanted to dry this. Oh, hold on. And I see where I got orange splattered on my yellow right here. There we go. Baby wipes to the rescue. Okay. That's a good idea. Somebody suggested I take Charlie with me and get her nails painted too. I think I'm going to put one more coat on because my laser machine kind of like when it cuts the edges, it leaves little burn marks. I can kind of see some of those burn marks through the paint, which I'm told that sometimes that could be the sap from the wood seeping upwards. It's not the paint's fault. It's from the laser cutter kind of burning those edges. And I could have sanded it off, but I was lazy and didn't want to. So we'll just pretend like that's shading. Hi, Patricia. Welcome. Karen says use spring colors. Yes, I love bright colors, so it may have to be spring colors. Doreen, you said your salon paints little girls' nails for free if mom gets hers done. That's interesting. Maybe I can find something that'll occupy her. Okay, let's paint the middles. What did y'all suggest? What did we end up deciding to paint these? Did we decide brown or black? Oh, buffalo plaid. That was what y'all suggest. That was my favorite suggestion. So we'll go with that. So I think we'll do black and white buffalo plaid. So we're going to start with, let's see, hang on. Think through this, Tamara. I got to paint it white first. Do you guys ever do that? Like you start to jump head first into a project and then you're like, wait a minute, back up the truck. We got to think through this before we just jump in and do it. I think I need to paint them white first and then do the buffalo plaid on top of the white. These little pieces are kind of hard to hold still. I've heard sometimes that people will put them on something sticky so that they don't wiggle around a whole lot while you're painting them. That would have been a good idea. Hindsight's 20/20 though. Somebody said, ooh, leopard print center would be cute. Purple. Y'all are still giving me ideas. Somebody said, how could I cut these 3D flowers myself? So, okay, a lot of people, if you do not have a laser cutting machine, would do them with a scroll saw. Now, these can actually probably be done with a jigsaw. These pieces are going to be a lot harder to do with a jigsaw. And then, of course, a monogram like this is going to be near impossible with a jigsaw. So I would recommend a scroll saw if you don't have a laser cutter. But, of course, the Glowforge Pro is awesome. If you need a laser cutting machine, use that. Give them another coat real quick. They're soaking that paint right up. Does anybody have questions about Painters Clubhouse? I'll be happy to answer questions while we paint. Like I said, tomorrow's the last day to sign up, and you're going to want to make sure and do so that you can learn to paint door hangers with us every single month. I could have glued them to my flowers already, but I figure they're going to be easier to paint while they're not glued. Rosanna, you're funny. She said, thank goodness 20/20 is hindsight. Is it harder to paint if you glue your pieces down first? I don't know. I haven't done the 3D pieces very much. So, I don't know. I'm kind of a messy painter. So I figured painting them in pieces was easier and then gluing them together. What are my door hangers? I'll show you the whole piece put together in just a few minutes. We're fixing to paint some probably buffalo plaid on these. I'm trying to find a nice little flat tip brush. So I've got this little bitty flat tip brush. Can y'all see that? It's itty bitty. And we're going to use that. And we're going to do some gray or some white and black mixed together to make gray. I could just pick a gray, but you know, that would make things too easy, I guess. I'll just use what I got in my palette. It's not going to take much. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so I made a gray. Now I'm just going to make some stripes going one way. I may do these intentionally a little messy, like kind of like how that looks streaked. Rustic buffalo plaid. Whoop. It's really going to be intentionally messy if I keep this up, flipping the paint pieces around. See how I recovered there? I just put a stripe over the spot that I messed up. Polka dot centers. We've been doing polka dot centers every night, Michelle, so I was trying to change it up a little bit. I can show you the ones we've done previously here in a little bit, but we've done polka dot centers on them every night so far. So I kind of thought, well, we'll do something different tonight. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and get a little bit more black. And switch to a smaller brush. And do the centers where they crisscross in this darker black. It's actually kind of a gray buffalo plaid. Don't forget to sprinkle the love, because you guys, I'm going to be giving away a blank set of these to somebody who is sharing and sprinkling and commenting. This is a rustic buffalo plaid. It's not turning out so bad. That's a little dark, but you know. I think it's going to be cute when we're done, because we're also going to do that glazing medium maybe on here to kind of make everything look a little antiqued. So this kind of demonstrates how somebody in the Painters Clubhouse would take several different techniques that we teach and combine them on a door hanger. So buffalo plaid's one of the techniques that we would teach. Maybe how to make like something look distressed, or how to make it look antiqued. And so there's different things you can learn in the Painters Clubhouse, and I feel like it needs one more stripe right there. And so we're going to kind of demonstrate how you put all that together to kind of create a one-of-a-kind door hanger tonight. Okay. Thank you for sprinkling the love, you guys. Are you making a dot or a small line? Let me show you up close how messy this is. Let me get in front of the camera here. Looky there. Real messy. Can y'all see that? So they're kind of like a little square, but it's real messy. So we're not going to focus on the tiny details. We're going to focus on the overall, what it's going to look like. Spread some glitter. Is that your way of saying sprinkling the love? I like that. Debbie says it's harder for her to glue the pieces together and then paint. It's a lot of touch up. Yeah, I kind of feel like this is easier. Deneen says, this is my first time watching. Tell me more about Painters Clubhouse. So Painters Clubhouse is my membership. I feel like this needs one more coat, so we're going to do that real quick while I talk. It's my membership where we teach you how to paint door hangers every single month. We teach you 2 door hangers. I teach one, and then one of our guest instructors teaches another. Plus, we have several bonus tip and technique videos that we sprinkle in. You do not have to be a beginner, but you also can be a beginner. It's for anybody, whether you've painted a door hanger before or you've painted for years. because sometimes people who've been painting for years join simply because they want to be a part of the community. We're a wonderful community of women who are super generous to share tips and advice, to support one another. They're always quick to hop onto each other's Facebook Lives and cheer each other on. And we believe in community over competition. And so you'll never find any drama in the Painters Clubhouse, never anybody like accusing somebody of cheating or any of that silliness. And so, you know what I just thought of? We need to do polka dots on these. Like polka dots that are the same color as the background, but just slightly different. Just bear with me. I got an idea. And so inside the Painters Clubhouse, we also do Zoom paint parties, which are super fun. We hop on a Zoom call once a month and paint together. We don't necessarily teach on those calls, though. That's just an opportunity for our members to get to know one another and to spend time together. And so we do that once a month. And we have a live meetup at least once a year, but this year we aren't able to do that, unfortunately, because of COVID. So we're going to be doing that next year. But we have lots of fun in there together. It's a great community. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask your specific questions in the comments. I'm sure we have some of our Painters Clubhouse members watching that can answer, or I can catch your question and answer as well. Okay, I took a little bit of white and mixed it with my, what's this color called? Scarlet red. And now I'm taking my little sponge pouncer. We've been using this sponge pouncer every single night. And I'm doing some little bitty polka dots on here that are just going to be a real subtle pattern that I think is going to spice up the design just a little bit. And Erica Johnson, if you're watching right now, you're probably laughing because you're probably like, Tamara, I knew you couldn't do a door hanger without adding some polka dots. She was watching one night the other night and she's like, of course you did polka dots, because she knows I love polka dots and I always end up adding them somewhere almost every time. It's my go-to pattern. It's so easy. And it just makes me happy. It's like the epitome of whimsical. Do you guys love polka dots? Do you use them often? Somebody said, what's a Zoom? Zoom is like a video conference call. Zoom is just the platform that we use. It's like an app you can download to your phone. When it's time to hop on the call, you just click the link that we give you. You make sure your video and your microphone's on, and then you're ready to go. Okay, let's mix a little bit of white in with this yellow. Catherine uses polka dots all the time. Your polka dots are bubbly. What's your technique? Mine are a little bit bubbly too. See, they've got texture to them, and none of them are perfect, but it's okay. We're not going for perfect. If they're bubbly, just let it be. Let it be bubbly. It's fine. Did we learn who the box full of door hanger blanks goes to? I never was told who the winner was. I'm sure they've contacted the winner. My team may have gotten a hold of it. Oh, but that does remind me. The winner of last night's door hanger design is Regina Sneed York. So Regina, if you are watching, you won the one that I painted last night. Congratulations. Polka dots are whimsical and Southern. I agree. Okay, so we've added some white to our yellow. It's created a really pretty like buttercream yellow. Look at that. So pretty. Anytime you want to add just a little bit of texture or pattern to a design, I highly recommend taking the same color you just used, adding a little bit of white or something like that to it, and it's going to create a slightly lighter color. And you can just add polka dots or stripes, and it's going to add more pattern without distracting from the design. Okay, so now these are still the same kind of flowers, but now they've got a little bit more of a pattern to them. Look how cute that's going to be. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Lejana, for the idea for the buffalo plaid. I'm geeking out over here about it. Okay, let me see if I missed a question. Lori says, I always say polka dots are my signature design. I love that. Polka dots cover mistakes. Give your little sponge a twist. Yes, ma'am. Everybody's saying, I love polka dots. Erica's laughing at me. I knew you were, Erica. I knew it. Okay. Oh, I think I saw a question. Oh, no, that was the question I've already answered. Okay, good. How can you get this ornament? So Carla, we're actually, it's a part of a larger design that we're working on. So it's still a little wet, I think, but that's okay. We're going to set these up here out of the way for a minute, and we're going to finish working on the pot part of this. So I have this technique I've never tried. I think y'all have heard that once before on here. I just said that earlier about something else, and I want to try it with you guys. So the technique is kind of, I saw somebody in the clubhouse do it. And if it was you, you can let me know. I don't remember who it was. But they took some brown and they put it on a round tip brush. And then what they said they did to create sort of a rustic edge was that they just kind of like rolled that paintbrush down the edge, and it created sort of a chippy look on the edge of the door hanger. I don't think I'm quite getting it, but the look I'm going for is more like so that it looks like it's almost got like rusty spots on the edges. I'm kind of getting it, kind of. Mine almost looks a little too perfect, like it was done intentionally in too many places. Is there a text for lives? Yes. Let me put that number up on the screen for you real quick, Brenda. Text this number. If you need to, screenshot it and do it after the video, because I will have to take this off the screen in just a minute so everybody can see the comments. But be sure and text this number so you can get text notifications when I go live. You can also send me pictures of your projects that you're working on or ask me questions about Painters Clubhouse. Okay, I'm going to take it down now. You ready? You like the rusty look? Okay, let me show you up close. It's kind of created sort of a rusticness around the edge. Cameron says I use a dry brush technique with a burnt umber for rust. This is called burnt sienna. Very close. And I usually do a dry brush, but this is something a little different I was going to try this time. How do you do the rust thing again? Donna, I just put it on a round tip brush and kind of rolled that brush along the edges ever so slightly. Yeah, Vicky knows who I'm talking about. She said it was the woman who painted the beautiful magnolia piece. She said, I can't remember her name. I can't either. But she did it in the Painters Clubhouse. And I was like, that was brilliant. I've got to try that. All right. Are you guys ready to start adding what were we going to do next? We were going to do the glazing medium. So I'm really going to have to dry these really good before we do this. So can y'all hold on a second while we dry this? Because it won't work if they're wet. Debbie says, I love this one. I do too, Debbie. I think it's going to be my favorite one yet. All right. This is the coolest stuff. Deco Art glazing medium. How many of you guys have ever glazed furniture before? Like with like an antiquing glaze. So this is kind of similar. You mix it with your paint. So I'm going to put some in here. And then I'm going to get some of this dark chocolate, and we're going to create a brown like antiquing glaze. So I've got some in here. I just squirted some in. I didn't measure or anything because that would be too technical. Hold on. This one has been well loved. It's almost out. And we're just going to put a little bit of brown in there. Okay. Now we're going to use our handy dandy stir stick, also known as the other end of a paintbrush. And we're going to mix the glazing medium with the brown paint. Thank you, Diane. Welcome. If you enjoy this tonight, you would love our Painters Clubhouse membership. We teach cool techniques like this all the time in there. And we teach 2 door hangers every single month. We give you the printable templates so you can cut your own wood shapes. And you also get 20% off to use in our shop at shopdoorhangers.com as many times as you want. So you can use that on templates. You can use it on blanks or anything. Thank you for sprinkling the love. Yes, you can use a heat gun to dry it. Just don't get it too close. Be careful. Cameron says, I've done several dining room sets. Almost every piece of furniture in my house here, I have bought like a thrift shop or a yard sale or someplace, and I have repainted it, and then I've done this sort of antiquing glaze technique on it. Okay, but this is my first time ever doing it on a door hanger, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, I feel like we need one of these to, okay, we're going to use this one as the sacrificing guinea pig, because I know this will be super easy to repaint because I can just flip it over or whatever and repaint it. So this will be the guinea pig, and you got to work quickly. So I have paper towels handy. Let me go ahead and separate them because I've got like 3 paper towels here. Because the longer the glazing medium sits on the wood, the more it soaks in. And I'm using just this little dry brush kind of thing. We're just going to, oh, that was probably a lot. We're going to cover it. And it kind of is going to freak you out at first because you're going to be like, oh my goodness, Tamara, you just painted the whole thing brown. But get your paper towel and start wiping it off. So if we hate this, it's okay. Whoa. Because we can totally fix it. But I think it's going to be fine. See how it kind of added a little bit of an antique look? All right, let's see what it looks like on this flower now. I'm not going to get any more glazing medium. I'm just going to use what I already have on the brush. Actually, no, I lied. I'm going to get some more. That was not enough. Okay, so we're mostly covering the whole thing. We're not trying to perfectly put it on there. It's looking real messy. And then we're going to take our paper towel. You could even, ooh, I kind of like that effect. Just dab, 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 but that's not taking enough off for me. So maybe we'll dab and we'll wipe. This is so cool, guys. Look how antique-y looking it looks. And if you get too much, because I kind of feel like there's too much on this corner, get you a baby wipe. And just gently be like, okay, not quite so much. Let's take a little off. Just wipe gently. Okay, what do you think? Debbie says, I need to try the glazing. It's kind of fun, Debbie. Like it's like messing it up, but it's also not messing it up. What do you think? Helen says, hey guys, don't let yourself wake up Sunday morning and wish that you had signed up to this great group. Amen. Look how cute this is. Totally country, antique. It's a little, I got a little heavy on the antique right here, but you know, we might could clean it. It's almost getting darker the longer it sits. But look how that's kind of cleaning it up. It's taking it off. So you can kind of take a little bit of it off, but I almost feel like it gives it a little bit of character. What do you think? Erica says, that looks amazing. Awesome. I'm glad you guys like it. The glazing makes the polka dots pop. LaJana, you were part of this whole idea here. You did an awesome job. Okay, so let's do this flower. We're going to do it piece by piece. I'm trying to move quickly. I don't want it to like completely soak in and set in. I'm also continually turning it over to a new piece of paper towel. It's sticking in all the right places though. You know, like how there's like texture on the wood. It's like sticking to that. Looks really great. Dana says, I love this group. I'm not as active as I would like to be, but I enjoy it. Thank you, Dana. If you guys are on the fence about joining Painters Clubhouse, ask your questions. Our Clubhouse members in the comments will be able to kind of tell you from the horse's mouth what they think about it. If they, you know, they're the honest truth. I promise I did not pay them to lie to you. They're paying me. They're paying me to be in the group, and they love it. Okay, I think it's time for a new paper towel. Look how cute this is. Y'all, I don't know if I've ever gotten so giddy about a door hanger in the middle of painting it. Can we buy the 3D pieces? Not at this time, Debbie. We're not able to churn those out like we would like to be able to, but when our new shop is up and running, you bet. We'll be selling all kinds of 3D components. But if you sprinkle the love on this video, you'll be entered to win a set just like this to paint yourself. Okay, now for the big piece. We got all our little pieces done. They're kind of sticky. So I'm going to work in sections. I may start with the pot first. Get my paper towel. Ooh, this is looking good. Oh my goodness, it looks so good. Look at that. It just took it up a notch. Let's do our leaves. Now, we don't have to be as careful on this because we're going to cover a lot of this up with our flowers. So we just need to make sure we get some on the leaves. So I'm going to work in sections because I don't want it to completely dry very quickly. I kind of like that swirling motion I just did there, the way that looked. Are y'all geeking out at home like I'm geeking out right now doing this? This is so cool. Michelle says, I enjoyed watching you paint this week. I wish you could do this once a month. You can if you join Painters Clubhouse. We don't paint this. We don't paint every single night in Painters Clubhouse. But because we're in the middle of opening the group, I am painting live with you guys every single night. But this could be something we could do on occasion in the Painters Clubhouse where we could do like the same design, you know, 2 or 3 different ways, maybe not 4 ways, but 2 or 3 different ways so that you guys could really see all the potential that one design has. That would be a really fun idea. You love the antique technique? Okay, look how cool this is looking. Wipe at the bottom leaf on the left of the bucket. This one, is it looking a little heavy? Let me get my baby wet. I think it's going to be all right. Okay. Now comes the fun part. We get to put all these pieces on here, and I have to remember what goes where. I know this piece goes here, sort of, somehow. I may have it turned wrong. There's like one direction it goes. Maybe like that. And then there's this one that goes here. It's like a puzzle. And then there's this one that goes right here. And they all fit together. And then we have our centers. Oh my goodness, look how cute. And then we have our letter B, which I'm thinking probably black. We'll probably go black. Painting it black. So we got to paint this. The antique technique looks awesome, doesn't it, Betty? Oh, Jerry, I love that idea. She said 4 different members could go live in the Painters Clubhouse that week, showing their different twist on the design. That's a great idea. Love it, love it. The only problem is we have to line up 4 different people if we did that every month. I don't think we would be able to do it every single month. Y'all don't realize what a lot of planning goes into planning who is going to go live in the clubhouse every month, and like who's going to do the design, what design we're going to do, and who's going to do it when, and like all of that planning and lining up, all of that is a lot of work. So we probably wouldn't be able to do it every single month, but okay, let's try this, and then we're going to start gluing it all together. Mel says, I want to rejoin the clubhouse, but it's not allowing me to sign up again. It's probably because your information's already in the system. Probably you need to email support@paintersclubhouse.com and see what's going on with that. But Mel, I would say first try to log in as if you were a member. And once you're logged in, then go and try to pay or sign up. What if you highlighted the B with the silver? Yeah, I feel like it needs a little something, don't you? I think so. Nancy, it's $47 a month or $470 for the entire year, which gets you 2 months for free. Where did my silver go? Oh, I put it way over here. Yeah, we could do it per quarter probably, Jerry. Okay, we're going to do the silver and do just a little highlight on our letter. What do you think? Did I do too much? Sometimes it's hard to find a stopping place. Okay, I think that's good. Once I do something, everybody else is giving me all kinds of other suggestions. Somebody said a gold highlight, and somebody else said you should have done it a different color. I know, but you know what? You can paint it however you want when it's your turn. Can I buy this one to paint? Ruth, we aren't selling it in 3-dimensional pieces yet, but we will be in the future. How do we get the 3D blanks? We're hoping to be able to sell them like that when we get our shop up and running. What you need, son? Yes. When is the last day to sign up? Nancy, the last day to sign up is tomorrow. Okay, let's set this to the side. We need to do some accents on our leaves with our paint pens before we glue everything down. Or maybe not our paint pens. Let's do brushes before we glue everything down. So I'm going to take a little bit of watered down black. And we're just going to add some cute little accents. There we go. Okay. That added a little bit of busyness to it. Your name starts with a B too? Awesome. Okay, so let's start gluing things down. I'm going to use Gorilla Wood Glue. Pop it open. Let's go ahead and glue our, oops, hang on, I dripped some water on my metal bucket. Let's go ahead and glue these middle pieces down first. Put a little bit of glue on there. Glue it right down on the center. It's not got a fast hold, so you're just going to have to be careful with it while it sets up. Sometimes I even like to put something like a heavy textbook or something on top of it while the glue sets up. Okay. Let's start with this one here. Instead of putting it on the back, I'm just going to put it right here where the flower goes. And try to remember how it lines up. I think it's like this. That looks right. Okay, let me push down on a little bit. Gorilla Glue comes in glue sticks now. I saw that somewhere. I can't remember where I saw it, but it was earlier today. Maybe it was TikTok. And so I've got to check that out. I forgot the sound effects. Yes, I know. Whoops. I should have been paying more attention. Okay, the yellow one goes here. Oh, I was going to do the glue here, wouldn't I? There you go. There's you some sound effects. Someone said she has a hard time sealing with the Posca pens. What do you seal with when you've used them? I either spray it with Rust-Oleum lacquer or I brush on the Duraclear gloss varnish and I just do it one stroke, one direction at a time until the entire thing is covered. Just don't go back and forth. No back and forth motion. Okay, some of this is not lining up perfectly, but it is what it is. Marie Mosley, negative Ghost Rider. I will fight to the end. I don't even know what y'all are talking about, Erica. You like my sound effects? You could add a few drops of hot glue until the glue has dried. Yes, I could. I'm kind of stubborn, though. I like my wood glue. I just don't like using hot glue because if it gets warm, like hanging on my front door or something, that stuff pops right off every time. So I avoid hot glue if I can. I know that sounds weird for a crafter to say, but I don't care for the hot glue. Use Liquitex, same direction Tamara just said. And my live tomorrow also. So Danita, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central, we're going to be live again, but I'm not going to be painting. I'm going to be having a Zoom paint party with some of my Painters Clubhouse sisters. And so we're going to have different ones popping on from 8 to 10 p.m. They're going to talk about their experience in the Painters Clubhouse. Some of them will be painting. They'll be sharing all kinds of funny stories, kind of great tips, talking about their paint parties and things. And so if you have any questions about anything, tomorrow night is an awesome time to hop on. Let's see if I missed any questions over here. Use hot glue and the wood. Oh, y'all are awesome. Y'all must do this pretty often. I don't do this very often. I don't often glue on stuff. But tonight we did a lot of firsts. We glazed a door hanger. That was the first time I'd ever done that. We glued on 3-dimensional pieces. That's pretty much a first for me. What else? There was another first that I did. Oh, this whole technique on the pot was a first. I'd never done that before. So, whoops, obviously that's not really secured, glued down. I was going to hold it up for you guys to see, but if everything falls off, this will not be good. Look how cute. Look. Oh my goodness, guys. I think this is my favorite one of all time. Look how the antiquing glaze made it look so different. Like, I know the colors we used were a little different, but these were still really bright colors when we started out. But the antiquing glaze gave it a country sort of feel. Like, it feels more expensive and it feels like old fashioned and stuff. I love it. But this is completely different. 2 totally different styles. Thank you. Yes, I think I'm gonna have to break the hot glue out, whether I want to or not, but I'll do that off camera. Is this pattern in the shop? Yes, it is at shopdoorhangers.com. There's also a link up in the video description, and it's called the Daisy Pot. Thank you for sprinkling the love. Whoever wins tonight's will get a blank one and the monogram of your choice to paint yourself. So be sure and sprinkle the love. Let us know that you've done so. Can you show the silver color? I missed the first part. Absolutely. So we kind of mixed 2 of the Deco Art matte metallics together, soft silver and charcoal. We mixed these 2 together to create this look down here. And then we used the antiquing glaze mixed with the dark chocolate paint to create sort of the brown look. And we rolled some burnt sienna along the edges to make it look like rust. Super cool technique. You sprinkled the love. Thank you. You could go over this and add more and more details, but I kind of feel like I want to just leave it as is. I kind of like the simplicity on the flowers without a ton of detail. So I think I'm going to stop where I'm at. If you painted rose gold metallic, what color would you use with the medium? Rose gold. I would probably use some kind of brown, maybe. Yeah. You love the look. You can't wait to get the glaze and try it. This glaze is awesome. DecoArt has it on their website as well, I'm sure. shop.decoart.com. The colors are great for antiquing. Saturday night at 8 p.m. Central. Yes, come back tomorrow night. We're going to be having a Zoom paint party right here. It's going to last 2 hours. And we will have some of our Painters Clubhouse sisters on here. The last time we did this, we actually ended up staying on for 4 hours straight until midnight. And we laughed and had the best time. I don't know that I'm going to have it in me to stay up that late tomorrow night, but we did have a great time last time. So hopefully you guys will hop over and join us and join the Painters Clubhouse. If you join by midnight tonight, you'll get our final bonus that we are offering, which is how to sell your door hanger even if you don't have a business yet. This is going to help some of you who are worrying about whether or not you're able to afford the membership. Because if you can sell just 1 door hanger a month, it's going to help you pay for your membership. And if you have listened to any of my Painters Clubhouse member interviews this past week, they're all on my Facebook page at Southern Adoornments Decor. You will hear every single one of those women talk about how they've been selling their door hangers and how awesome it's been to not only be able to afford the membership, but to help provide an additional income for their families. I interviewed Maria today, and she was talking about how it started as a side hustle, and now she's taking it full time this year. Lori, I'm not planning on painting anything tomorrow night, so I'm planning on just directing the conversation and chatting with the ladies, but I won't be painting, but they will be. You can't wait to get started. You just joined day before yesterday. Welcome, Kim. Cameron said I could spend my whole paycheck there. Do you have to have an invite to join the Zoom? Well, the Zoom is going to be streamed to Facebook. So the ones that are participating have already been invited. Let's see, because we couldn't afford to have everybody on there, unfortunately. It would have been a madhouse. Nicole said, I need to paint this now, but I'm painting the bike from Painters Clubhouse first. That is an oldie but a goodie. We painted that one the first month, I think, in Painters Clubhouse. Yes, Shirley, I've heard that tip also. She said you can use cinnamon to make it look rustic. That's a cool trick. Any other questions before I go? Is this video going to be available in Painters Clubhouse? I'm a new member. You'll be able to find it via the searchy thing in Painters Clubhouse. So we did, what night was it? Was it Wednesday night? We did a tutorial, not a tutorial, a tour inside the Painters Clubhouse website. And I showed you guys behind the scenes of what it looks like behind the membership doors. And so I showed you guys the searchy button that we have. It's a really cool feature inside Painters Clubhouse that allows you to search every single video we've done in the Painters Clubhouse and every single video I've ever done on my Facebook page here publicly. And so it makes it super easy to find a tutorial for just about anything you wanted to find. The membership is $47 a month or $470 for the entire year. If you pay for the year in full, you get 2 months for free. Sharon said the best thing I ever did was join the Clubhouse. Aaliyah just said, I just joined. I'm so excited. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you. Any other questions? Diana said, I love everything you did tonight. Thank you, Diana. What font did I use for the initial? I cannot remember for the life of me. I had it on Procreate. Sorry, I don't remember. Oh, Cameron, I announced it earlier. I'll be announcing tonight's winner of the blank cutout tomorrow night because I want to give people time to watch the replay and still get in on the action. Thank you for the tour. I learned even more, Catherine said. Did any of you guys not see the tour? The tour was during Wednesday night's video, I believe, at the end. I went and gave you guys a tour of the Painters Clubhouse. We showed you how we have over 3 years worth of door hanger painting tutorials, technique videos, tip videos, stuff about hand lettering, how to do all these different kinds of techniques and stuff. All of that is in the Painters Clubhouse right now. And as soon as you sign up, you get instant access to over 3 years worth of tutorials. So you've got a treasure trove of painting to watch. Donna said, I've been wanting to join for a while and there's never any money. Now that I have lost my job, I can't join someday. Hopefully you can soon. Are you sending a message for tomorrow? Yes, I will be sending a text message tomorrow to remind everybody. The Procreate program, I believe it's available for like iPads or different tablets. So I don't know if you have to have an iPad to use it though. I'm having a hard time keeping up with all y'all's comments. Is there something you need to do in order to share? I've punched the button so many times, it's not working. It might be easier to share after the live is over. I'm not quite sure. What time tomorrow? 8 p.m. Central. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you, guys. This was my favorite one. I'm so excited. I'm going to go hang it up, or like, actually, I can't go hang it up yet. I got to wait for the glue to dry. All right. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great night. Bye, y'all.